welcome back to Absolutely. My name is Benny, that is Hassan, and today we're going to talk about The Boys. The Boys. Now, I believe we already covered episodes 1 through 4, so we're going to cover the kind of filler episode that was 5 and Herogasm that was 6.
Yup. Oh, man.
So before we can get into it, I need to let you know, Hassan, I've made a decision as to what to do with this.
Oh, my God.
Okay? I'm going to look like Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, because that is a badass haircut that I got the length for now.
He looks awesome in it. You could. I'd like to see. I want to see you try it. I need to see what the look. I need you to put some product in.
I'm going to be Soldier Boy now. That's what I'm going to do. Okay?
Yeah, man. I don't think anybody wants to be Soldier Boy.
Dude, Soldier Boy is now my new favorite superhero. I'm just saying.
Man. Oh, dude, you're the guy who watched last season. Was like, Stormfront's so badass before the reveal.
No, even after the reveal.
I like Aya Cash. I think she's great. Now, look.
Let's talk about episode 5 real quick. That was the episode in which the idiot was being an idiot and got himself killed. I can't even remember his name. We never saw his powers. He was the backup dancer for Starlight.
Supersonic.
That was it.
That was the episode before.
Was it? What was last? Oh,
yeah.
The reason we didn't do this last week, guys, for those who are wondering, is I found last week's episode very forgettable.
So, last week's episode, they Soldier Boy blew up a whole city. Yep. They fought Butcher and Mother's Milk and Huey were going to kill Soldier Boy or to stop him, but instead they drug Mother's Milk and they join him and they have Soldier Boy leave on their tyrant and they're going to go fight Homelander.
And Frenchie's having his own subplot with
Frenchie's getting he gets to kiss Kimiko. The romance is finally blossoming. He immediately gets kidnapped and then she gets kidnapped later. I believe she gets kidnapped in the next episode. But and she thinks it's because she kissed him and it's a very sweet moment and then everything else is horrific that's going on here. But Huey's on Compound V. Butcher's on Compound V. Yeah. Huey is really messed up.
Kimiko, the female, is kidnapped. Frenchie is kidnapped. Yeah. They're going to teach him a lesson. Mother's Milk and Starlight are kind of working together, which really comes to fruition in this current episode. Because they're trying to go... Basically, we're at a point where there's a divide. Homelander's in charge of Vought, and he's like, I'm in charge. Screw you guys. Yeah. I'm going to kill this person. I'm going to kill this person. And you're all going to do what I say. We have A-Train dealing with the racism issue. I believe that was last episode.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was last episode, which is an incredibly upsetting scene.
But again, this is why last episode is kind of a setup, because, yes, that was an incredibly upsetting scene. But in combination with his reaction that we got to see this episode...
Oh, my God.
Like, right at the beginning where he's like, I want justice. And she's like, you murdered 3 people. What are you talking about?
You're like a piece of shit. You've always done stuff like this. Like, how do you think you're going to get away with this? You suck. And that woman rips more of her hair out. I've loved her performance this season. She's so unhinged. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But A-Train does all of that. And then we actually get a moment later in the episode with him and Huey where he's like, you never apologized. And then he gives a sincere apology.
Yeah.
And Huey's stuck on Compound V. He's crazy. So he still attacks A-Train.
So let's do this. As we're kind of doing 2 episodes of one, let's go beat by beat for the main story bits that have happened between 2 episodes. So let's start at the beginning. Homelander's kind of encompassed with Butcher and Soldier Boy and all that. So let's talk about the main plot. Okay. Yeah. Soldier Boy blows up. Butcher, Huey are working with him at this point against their friends. And Homelander is just getting more and more unhinged to the point where he's seeing other Homelander again.
Which is awesome. It's very, very Willem Dafoe Green Goblin in the mirror scenes. I love it.
So how do you feel about what's going on right now with the main plot? What's happening with that?
I mean, it's great. It's to show that Homelander, while he is the most powerful man on the planet, he is not intelligent. Edgar Wright, I think, the guy Stan Edgar, who ran Vought, he was powerful for a reason. He was intelligent. And now that he's gone, Homelander has nothing. Vought will not stay afloat. Nothing is working.
They're constantly having problems.
Yeah. The cover-ups were really intelligibly done. They were able to spend years with superheroes being the worst people ever and have them praise as gods because he had an amazing marketing machine behind him. And then you have Homelander as the very... it's an allegory. He's a very Donald Trumpian figure, and they're leaning further and further into that. And I think it's been hilarious. I think, and we'll get to the story beat, but I think my favorite quote of the episode is when, what's his name? Blue something? Blue guy. Blue cop.
Blue Hawk or Blue something?
Blue Hawk.
Yeah.
Blue Hawk said, You heard Homelander. You don't listen to the lamestream media. I laughed my ass off at that sentence. But yeah, it's a good story beat. They did things like they had the Deep fire all of the their information aggregating task force, basically. So now they're blind. Like, they don't know where Soldier Boy is. Before, Vought had eyes and ears everywhere, and they don't have any of that anymore.
I love that had to get to the point of Deep is now such a suck-up. I find Deep's plot, because it is intertwined into this main one, kind of a funky one, because we went with season 1 where he's the scum of the earth. Mm-hmm. And the season 2 felt like they were trying to be like, oh, no, he is, but he's being manipulated. He's a manipulated scum of the earth. And now season 3, it's like, no, he's just a brown-nosing asshole. Like, I don't know where they're going with him.
And they keep giving subtle glances whenever his wife is dictating everything that he does. And he'll look at her, and then he'll like turn away and look disgusted, and then he'll go have relations with squids. So like, obviously he's angry with that situation.
The squid thing was hilarious when she popped in and saw him with the squid.
And she took a picture of it. She said, Homelander's going to love this. I wish she like went ahead and posted that picture. That would have been great.
Yeah. So what do you think about the Billy Butcher and the Huey thing? Because Butcher's just going insane with the amount of power he has at this point. Like, when he stood up to Mother's Milk and he stood up to everyone when they got Soldier Boy out and all that stuff that he's been doing, you could see the power going to his head. Like, it's just going to him. Well, on the flip side, Huey's looking at as a more of a way to protect Starlight and not just be the helpless person she's going for.
I think it's a mix. I think Huey thinks it's that, but the way Huey acts, it's not that at all. I don't give a shit about protecting Starlight. I'm powerful. I'll make a difference. I want to talk about this totally separately because it's one of the most incredible superhero moments ever put to film. But in that final fight, Huey is smiling ear to ear when he gets to hit Homelander.
Oh, yeah.
Because he feels so powerful. And it's not powerful to protect Starlight. Starlight's not there. He's not helping take the bodies and teleporting them to hospitals to help all the people that were just attacked. He's just living in the moment of his ungodly power now because Huey is super powerful. Because is it implied that every single soup has super strength?
I was thinking that last night when Huey hit him.
When Huey hits A-Train,
I watched it last night.
How'd you do that?
Yeah. I wonder if it's just kind of because if you go to DC Comics, it's kind of assumed if you have any kind of a power, you have an increased level of strength, be it Superman strength or Batman strength. You have some kind of increased strength.
Right.
So I think they're kind of doing that with this, where it's just like everyone has a little bit of increased strength, different levels. The fact that Huey could swing and hit him, just throw him off.
Yeah, that was awesome. But the storyline's been awesome. I think Billy Butcher, it's sad, but it makes sense. I mean, he was so. He was doing well. He wanted to be there for Ryan, but he needs to defeat Homelander.
Yeah.
Homelander has to go. I mean, he's this thing that's going to hold him down forever in the same way that Soldier Boy's going to hold down Mother's Milk, but Mother's Milk's going to try and rise above. Butcher is not the guy to rise above.
And that's kind of what I think they're doing with the Mother's Milk thing by showing him having the same issue with Soldier Boy. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, he's going to do it properly. He's going to handle this properly. Well, Butcher's just wants to go ham. The grin on Butcher's face when he gets up and slams Homelander was like, what? Yeah.
Gets up and says, oi, whatever word I can't say on the internet.
And he blasts him with the heat vision, and Homelander's just like, what is going on?
Anthony Starr is playing it up so well. I've been having so much fun watching. That scene's probably my favorite scene in the whole show. That whole fight sequence is my favorite scene in the entire show. I want to address something from the last review because the comments were rampant. Guys, when I say Anthony Starr pulled an Ezra Miller, I mean that he's a celebrity in a superhero movie that is in trouble with the law. I don't mean that he's Ezra Miller going on some crazy tear and like is a super criminal. There was like 30 comments that were like, Hudson doesn't know what he's talking about. Guys, obviously, just so we're clear, I love Anthony Starr. I think he's hilarious.
I think he's great.
He definitely did like don't assault somebody, not cool, but he's not pulling an Ezra Miller where they're running off and they're doing, crazy stuff every single night and not being stopped. So just wanted to make that clear because I do love his performance because he's a maniacal monster.
He's so good at his performance.
God. He's terrifying.
Yeah.
And even in this scene, right? Soldier Boy, which we just need to get through the story beats. But we go to Herogasm because Soldier Boy's hunting his old team, and it's really funny because Mother's Milk has a line when they get there, when he gets there with Starlight, and he's like, man, Frenchie would have loved this. And then Butcher has the same line later.
Oh, Frenchie would have loved this.
Frenchie would have loved this. Shame that twit can't be here. Whatever he's got to say. And it's like horrific. I hated it. And at first it just kind of played for jokes. And then Mother's Milk says, a lot of the people here are sex workers that the soups are just going to rip apart. And I was like, oh my God, I thought everybody.
Yeah, and they demonstrate by him guy making like the
icicle
dildo, the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and shoving it into somebody. Oof. Yeah, no. But it's funny that they're doing something called Herogasm. I mean, the show is so ridiculous.
I thought it was going to be bigger than it was. Like, the Twitter was freaking out about the Herogasm. And I'm like, yeah, you went to a sex party, but they didn't really display anything that would make me be like, oh, that's beyond even the boys. No, it was all in line with the boys.
The guy whose penis walked around and was
Yeah,
all
but he was
over
in last season.
Okay, well then here's the worst part about Herogasm. Maybe they were tweeting about the fact that they all died, Betty. It blew up. There was a bomb that went off in an orgy.
No, so here's the thing with that, though. Here's the thing, because I wanted to get to Soldier Boy and talk more about him, and Herogasm is kind of the perfect thing. Soldier Boy 1, I love the way Jensen Ackles is playing this character. Because he's straight up like, I was badass in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. Why did things change? Like the epitome of like, oh, leave the old man alone because he's never going to change. But he looks 30. He's just like, he's not some old man in a wheelchair.
And
but I love the way he's playing it up.
I founded Herogasm in 52, actually.
Yeah, and I love the way he's playing up the role. And they were making him out to be a bomb, but it's more like a power laser that comes out of his chest. And he blacks out. He even said, I don't remember what happened at these periods. I don't know what that is.
Yep. Somebody in our Twitch chat comment sections actually said Eric Kripke confirmed they cut out a lot of scenes of Herogasm. They filmed a lot that wasn't in it. So I'm sure
I imagine they, even though it's on Amazon Prime, there was still some executive like, all right. It's a little too much nudity.
Because they went too far. They built a practical giant penis for them to film the first episode in. That was practical effects, Benny. It was practical. I'm not kidding. I saw it. It was horrific. And I think something funny to note on is President Obama has confirmed that he likes the boys before season 3 happened. So just the idea that Mr. President was watching the same scene we all have been watching, it made it so much funnier for me.
I can see that, yeah.
He's like,
but I'm just loving
Blue Hawk thing.
I also loved when Soldier Boy finally got confronted by Homelander, and the two of them were staring each other down, just talking up a nice game.
Yeah.
Like, because I expected the fight was going to go there, be one-sided across the board. But I liked, this is my favorite fight in the whole show right now. Because the two of them went at it, and then with the help, they were actually beating down Homelander.
I loved it. There's a moment where Butcher and Soldier Boy throw a punch at once against the wall, like twin punching. I was like, they missed, but it was awesome. This is the coolest thing ever. Oh my God. And then Huey pulls up butt fucking naked. Give him teleporting clothes. I love that earlier in the episode when him and Annie are definitely going to break up and he's not going to recover from the storyline. It's horrific. But he teleports away and she's naked too because he takes the clothes away people he teleports from.
I thought they were going to at least comment on that, but she just didn't. She's just walking around naked with him. I'm like, what? Yeah. I thought you'd at least be like, what the hell?
Right. It's it is the boys, right? I was so stressed out that entire scene that he's walking around this house naked because the last thing I want is for Annie to see him at Herogasm because I'm still kind of rooting for them, but
in the comics they end up together, but I don't know because the show is kind of off the beaten path from the comics.
I hear that Black Noir is not Homelander's clone anymore.
I loved that he just left.
I'm told there's an animated series in between that I didn't see, that is on Prime, that is like a flashback thing, but someone put a scene of it on TikTok, and I didn't watch it because I want to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I want to watch Diabolical
why
too.
Homelander and Noir are as close as they are, or why he likes him as much as he does. Because Homelander's heart gets broken. The episode opens with him saying, Noir, you're my favorite guy. You're the guy I trust the most. And then Noir gets into an elevator, cuts open his hand, and takes out the Vought tracking chip, hands it to someone, and leaves.
Yep.
So the show is ramping up. He's running away from...
I don't know if it was so much that he was heartbroken. I feel like it was more along the lines of if he's running. Like, he's the guy that Homelander could trust to do anything.
I took it as heartbroken. Because the way Homelander talks about Noir, it's like... fuck, I love you, man. You're the,
Well,
you're the guy.
I took it more as like, if he's running, oh crap, I should be afraid, because then he follows up like, what if I can't beat Soldier Boy? What if I can't beat him? You know?
Right. And then he can. He's so much more powerful than Soldier Boy even now. They have an awesome fight. They exchange blows. But at the end of the day, he's going to start killing Soldier Boy. And my boy, Billy Butcher, rises from the grave. And watching him throw punches that hurt Homelander after 3 seasons of watching our boys be the most helpless thing in the world, God, it was amazing. Yeah. Oh, it was so satisfying. Every hit held so much weight. It was awesome. And then when Huey shows up and Homelander like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
And they're all holding him down. And Butcher's like, hey, Huey, get away. And he's like, no, I'm staying here. Like I'd miss it, which is like, dude, you're going to die, you big idiot. And then Homelander flies out of the skyline. It's an incredible scene. And then we watch them walk away as their little crew of the anti-boys, I guess, while Annie and Mother's Milk are treating all the wounded. And they share a glance that, like, you know that this team is probably never going to get back together. I mean, it's so fractured.
No, well, that's what I want to talk about next. Annie and Mother's Milk are going a different path where they're trying to save everyone and just stop everyone from fighting.
Annie and Mother's Milk are the only heroes in the show.
Yeah.
The only one who are heroes. And she decides, the reason I've been calling her Annie L episode, she's not Starlight. She's Annie January, which is the goofiest name ever, but I love it. But yeah, she does a live stream to 14 million viewers. Man, I wonder what those donos were like. God damn. But she just leaves. She leaves Vought. She comes out, and it's the most upsetting thing because she's probably going to get killed now. Like she says, like, I don't know what they're going to do to me. And like Homelander has said it, if I'm upset, I'll just destroy the world.
They've also made it very clear that Mother's Milk is, like you put it best, choosing the higher road. Like, he had a chance to get in there and fight Soldier Boy, join Homelander, but Starlight was like, hey, I need your help. And he's like, all right, I got to go help people. I got to go do this. I got to go get everyone taken care of.
Yeah. Soldier Boy is actually, I mean, Jensen Ackles is great. I want to see Jensen Ackles screen test as Captain America now. Just like a little bit, right? Like now it's like, God, he's cool. Now I'm thinking.
Imagine him if they were to. They're never going to get there, but he would be a great Hydra Cap.
He would be a great U.S. agent, which they cast him. They just did it. But Jensen Ackles as the soldier, whatever, and then he's the evil Captain America. I would have loved him as U.S. agent.
Yeah, same here. So, but I want to talk about so the Frenchie and Kimiko thing.
Plotline.
Yeah, I just call it the female.
I thought she got her powers back.
Name.
Right. I thought she got her powers back during that scene because the way she was beating them down. I think I was like half looking at the screen for a second. I was like cooking.
I thought so too, but I don't know. I think they're going to come back. I think they have to come back for French and her to kind of end happy.
Mm-hmm. God, it was horrific. Her scenes, her violence has always been probably one of the most grotesque things on the show, which is a statement above all because, God damn it, have you guys been watching the show? Holy shit. It's just... Oh my God, this show is so horrific. Like the bomb going off and then the naked people covered in like soot and crying and you're hearing like the screeching sound of a bomb, like the high-pitched squeal. Like, oh my God, they're not pulling their punches at all this season. The show is way too successful, guys. If you make this show, if this season does even better, God knows what horrific thing we'll get in the 4th season. Like this... Oh my God.
Well, speaking about horrific things, how about A-Train's finale with Blue Hawk, where he just knocked him down and just dragged him until he died? Do you think A-Train's dead?
No, his story's not done, but I loved it. I don't know what's going to happen to him. I wouldn't mind if he was dead, but I also don't think that that's how you end his storyline. I think it needed to be more public. But
I can see that.
I was really, really happy.
Well, he got the apology off. He came to realize how much of a terrible human being he is. I feel like you're right. It's not as a finite an ending as other characters have gotten, but you could end it here with just he ran himself into the ground.
I feel like with a character like A-Train, people would have had to know what he did. He would have had to know that he acknowledged that he was wrong, and then he killed Blue Hawk for everything that he did. Because not that any of these heroes deserve redemptions, but like in death, at least he has the thing that like at the very end, he's still a fucking soup, so he kills people and he's doesn't understand anything, but he did the right thing. Yeah, Ashley's whole rant at the beginning of that episode where she was like, he felt threatened by a room full of non-soup black people. What are you thinking? That was one of those things that like, God damn, it was so, it's a mirror. Like Eric Kripke has gone all in on the political commentary this season and it's been done really well.
I mean, The Boys in general is a political commentary and everything, even in the early days. So
yeah. But like Kripke is doing it well. Like it feels like I'm watching When Homelander goes on the news, it feels like I'm watching a slightly higher pitched version of what I was watching on the news 3 years ago.
Well, and that's actually going back to what we were talking about before the show, where I like politics and stuff in comics. The politics have been around for a long time, but it has to be subtle. There has to be a core superhero themed thing going on, and I feel like The Boys is doing a great job at that, because while we do quite obviously have politics in this show, you also feel like you're watching a show. It's not just slapping you across the face. It's not like, Blue Hawk's reaction to The Room Full of Black People. They did all of that, and then A-Train turned to the camera and was like, that's not good. That's bad, man. Like, they didn't do that. Like, no, they're all played up to be a part of the plot. They handled it well.
It's a thing that occurs in the real world, over-policing in certain minority neighborhoods, and then they addressed it. And they addressed how even when, like, famous people will be like, we gotta be better, whatever, and then they don't actually do anything, like, here's what happens. More people get hurt. So you give him a slap on the wrist, and then he just attacked everybody. He paralyzed his brother. Yep. And then A-Train got what he deserved out of that. He got to kill Blue Hawk. I was so happy when Blue Hawk died.
Oh,
I was so happy the entire scene. It made me. It filled me up with so much joy. But you're right. The way this show does politics, it's hilarious, because you think of Homelander. You think of Homelander as this insane maniacal figure. The more power he gets, the crazier he gets, and the crazier shit he says, the more fans he gets, because people want that. Oh man, like when Mother's Milk goes to pick up his daughter from his his wife's house with her new boyfriend. And at first, her new boyfriend seems like really nice, but he's really into soups. And then there's that episode where Homelander's giving his like maniacal Donald Trumpian rant on television on like the Fox News show. And he's like staring at the screen. He's like, oh, wow. And he like leans forward a little bit because, like, this is the moment he's getting gripped. And then later, he's having his daughter watch Homelander's speeches and stuff like that. Yeah. That like... It's exactly like it. They're not even. It's not subtle. If you know what the world we live in, I'm sure some people are watching this and they don't really understand the nuances of it.
But that's what I like about this kind of a thing, because you can see it, but it also doesn't deter from the actual story. Yeah. We do have a story going on here that involves Homelander.
We do. We do.
So where do you think we're going to go from here, though? So we talked about A-Train, we talked about Blue Hawk, we talked about Mother's Milk and Annie, we talked about the boys themselves, Butcher and all that. So where do you think is next? Because the team's disassembled. Homelander's going to go off his fucking rocker.
The show hinges on Anthony Starr so much that I don't know if they can kill him, but I think that this is the season where they kill him. I think it should be. I think that I don't know how many seasons the boys was approved for. I know that they're at 4 right now, but... If they were only end,
4, they've only mentioned 4 publicly.
Okay, if they're only doing 4, then I think it would be the time for Homelander to die and for one more villain to take its place, kind of thing, like probably Soldier Boy. But I don't think they're going to kill off Homelander, so I really don't know.
I think they're going to depower him. Yeah. I think that's the whole point of the Kimiko plot, to make her less of a monster, so she can kind of get with Frenchie. We can get a better story.
Right, and then Homelander still becomes a political figure.
Yes,
that he's depowered, but he's like the president.
Because I think for the sake of this being a show, because in the comics, Butcher goes way down the dark path. In the show, though, I don't think they want to disrupt it that hardcore like it's done in the comics. So I foresee at the end of this all, they depower Homelander and choose to let him live, which is why they also choose to let Soldier Boy live. I don't know how they're going to handle him in the end, but they let him live. And then that's kind of where we resolve it. The boys are back together again. Homelander's depowered. How do we handle the rest of the problematic superheroes? Homelander gets into politics. Maybe even Soldier Boy does. I'd love to see Jensen Ackles stick around in this show.
I would too. And we didn't even talk about Victoria Newman's storyline, because she, openly is like, yeah, I have this power, and I know you guys know I have this power. And she makes Starlight's nose bleed, which I think is really, really cool. That just like a subtle hint of,
her, yeah.
I can kill you whenever I want to. She's an imposing ass figure. She's like really threatening when she walks on screen every time. I wish she could pop Homelander's head, but I don't think she can. I don't think she's got the power for that.
No, she said didn't she say she can do all that?
She can't pop Homelander's head, no.
Oh no, yeah, that's why she's trying to build up a group against Homelander.
He's too powerful, and I love that. It's like every single Superman evil medium or Superman medium, they just like show him still getting his ass whooped. Homelander had to get fought by 3 overpowered supes.
Yeah.
To be an equal playing field, and he still technically won. He still escaped.
Well, I mean, Soldier Boy was giving a run for his money, but I feel like the thing is, Soldier Boy wasn't strong enough to break the grip. Once Homelander got the grip on him, that was going to be it until Butcher threw him off.
Oh, yeah. I love that Soldier Boy's shield is so heavy, Huey can't even pick it up with his powers. It's like so heavy. That was and his costume looks awesome. He looks like Mysterio plus Captain America suit together. That's what I think of when I see it. Yeah, it's really, really cool. But yeah, no, guys, this show's, I mean, it's been crazy. I don't think there's much more to say, right, Ben?
No, we kind of covered all the core points. I'm excited for it. I want to see what I think there's only 2 episodes left. So
really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's even 2 left. I feel like they pack us with a punch of every single episode. There's so much happening every single time that's like the show feels like it's almost over. But all right. Well,
yeah. All right, well, thank you guys for watching today's episode of Absolutely, reviewing The Boys episodes 5 and 6. Make sure you let us know what your thoughts on it are down below. You can go ahead and be as mean as you want to Hudson. I give you permission. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Thank you guys so much for your time. We'll see you next time right here at Absolutely.
Peace out.